Yeah. How come the fucking timer isn't running? I don't like that. Now I can't trust if it's live or not. This is very upsetting. Anyway, would you rather find out that your husband's been banging his mom, or become the target of your husband's murder-suicide plot as he indulges in his love for vodka, ancient Egypt, S&M, and gunplay? We'll weigh the options tonight in a brand new episode of the Savage Sack Tap, and it starts right now.
You're listening to the Savage Sack Tap. It's not a podcast, it's not a half-cast, it's just a quick shot to the balls to help you finish off the week. We're cutting through the bullshit, filling your Friday with rage-fueled logic, and cracking a few jokes along the way. So grab a bag of frozen peas. There's a Savage Sack Tap coming your way.
Smooth, lascivious, salacious, outrageous.
Doodly doot doot doo, just giving a little time for where I put the thing. Cracking open my bubbly. I love this bubbly shit, by the way. I know it's like a basic, like a white chick drink, but it's fucking great. Anyway, good evening. I am Mike Montone. This is the Savage Sack Tap, and the boys of summer are gone. I gotta move this mic. It's a little. I don't like how I'm situated here. Is this better? Yeah. There we go. The boys of summer are indeed gone. But I will say I was surprised this summer with some fantastic butt cheeks on Long Beach Island. I know I mentioned it earlier in the summer that there were a lot of much fitter, thicker, tighter buns on the beach this summer on LBI. Usually it's kind of a family place, and it's usually it's a goddamn frump fest down there. A lot of like those like soft, like the skinny fat suburban mom. You know, they're not like obese fat women. They're just the suburban moms who have stopped being sexual or taking care of their bodies. They're not fat. They just have those like it's just bones with like soft flesh hanging off of it, and it's like indescribable. There's like no shape to it. That's what like you usually get on Long Beach Island, but for whatever reason this summer there was just an invasion of fantastic ass cheeks on the beach. So I for one just want to say, end of summer. I think we owe a thank you to the ladies out there for that dedication to both the thong and the deadlift. You really did right by everybody. So happy Labor Day, happy belated Labor Day to you gals. There were some buns to behold on LBI these past 3 months. Kudos. There were also some fucking retards to be heard, not to behold, to be heard. I was on the beach with my siblings the other day, and there was like this family behind us, and it sounded like the layout that I'm kind of picturing. It was I think it was the boyfriend of one of the chicks in the family, like the adult boyfriend, and it seemed like maybe there was an uncle or a friend. Probably not a father, just by the way they were going back and forth, and he didn't really know much about the guy. Like it seemed like they were kind of getting to know each other, so I'm gonna assume it was like an uncle or like a family friend. He's telling this guy, and he's speaking like. He's very social. Like this guy wouldn't shut the fuck up. I can't really imitate him. But he had like sort of an autistic quality to his speech patterns. But he's telling this guy about how he got a job in sales, doing like IT sales or some shit. He sells laptops and he sells software, and he's telling him that he had no sales experience when he took the job, that he used to be a cook, and they just hired him because he knows how to talk to people. And I'm like, the fuck? This guy doesn't know how to talk to people. He can barely form a coherent sentence. Like, on what planet is someone hiring him to be the face of the company? To talk to people? The guy, like, it was just... I fucking wish I could imitate him, but it was just like this slow, fucking, like, jolly. I don't know if a caveman was in a really good mood. I don't know if that's the best way I can describe it. Like a really overly social fucking Neanderthal. Like he seemed like a nice guy, but I probably wouldn't want him peddling my products. And so this guy he's talking to says, after he told him that he used to be a cook, this guy he's talking to says, "Oh, I know what happened. You cooked him a meal, and they said, I gotta have this guy around." And I heard it, and I was fucking furious, because that is the dumbest, most meaningless fucking response that anyone could give to that question, or to that statement. What does it even fucking mean? It actually means nothing. During what part of the fucking interview process do you cook the hiring manager a meal? Like, you come in, like, you maybe, like, take, like, a little test or something like that, you go over your resume, and then you take out a frying pan and make him some crepes? Is this customary in I've never worked in sales. I sold knives for a summer when I was between high school and college. That's about it. And I did not even selling cutlery and kitchenware. At no point did I prepare a meal for the hiring manager. So I don't know what the fuck this guy was talking about. And I really if we were living by, like, jungle law, I think I was stone cold sober, and I still would have just gotten up and gone over and smacked the shit out of him for saying something so fucking stupid. What an idiot. Anyway, oh yeah, there was another fucking moron. I was sitting on the beach Monday morning before we came back up, and this old, I guess old lady is the way to describe her. Probably like late 60s, like fat old. You know what I mean? Like that fucking diabetes and gout body. And just another jolly idiot sets up a blanket right where the waves are, like, rolling up and kissing the shoreline. And I purposely, like, I walked up before them, and I set up, like, 15, 20 yards back, so I'm close to the water, but I'm not within that range where in the morning when the tide is coming in, when a big fucking surge is gonna come fucking, soak my cell phone and my wallet and all my shit. Like anyone who has ever gone to the fucking beach realizes this. Anyway, these idiots set up right where the water is, like, tickling the shore, and that's where, when you get one of those surge waves, that's where you get fucking soaked. Like, everybody knows that. The only people who go and sit there are people who take just their chair up and they leave everything back up on the sand, and they're doing it to purposely get wet. Otherwise, you're a fucking idiot. Anyway, she puts a blanket down, and, not 5 minutes after she puts this blanket down, does a wave just surge up onto the beach and soak all of her shit. I was so fucking satisfied. Good stuff. Very satisfying. But not as satisfying. You see how I had to throw that second satisfying in there to set up the next satisfying? Don't worry, I hate me too. I also think I'm a fucking asshole. Not as satisfying as the return of NFL football. Yeah, it's Thursday night, and we have NFL football is back. I'm fucking pumped. We got the Chiefs and the Texans tonight, so this should be fun. I think the NFL. It's very good that the NFL is playing its season and that we have at least some college football going on. And then it looks like high school football will be played in a lot of areas or is already being played. I think football will make the sort of cold, rainy season portion of lockdown here survivable. And everyone went fucking insane. Like, we saw how everyone was over the summer. Just people want to rip each other's fucking heads off. Social media going fucking crazy. When people get forced back inside, when it's 42 degrees and rainy in October, and people are forced back inside, and they're just sitting on their fucking devices. Like, it was bad enough over, like, 4th of July and Labor Day weekends where people are supposed to be enjoying, like, barbecues and shit. There were people who were having Twitter wars on the 4th of July. That's only going to get worse when people are forced back inside and it's like harder to take to the streets and shit, and it's just going to I feel like it's just going to cause the cauldron to fucking bubble and get fucking wild. So I think football is like the distraction we need while all of this shit's going on. Sec. My throat's a tad my throat's a tad fucking scratchy. Sorry. Yeah, I think people should honestly, like, I've been hearing, I overheard a phone conversation the other day. A family member, a friend, close person. I don't like to out anybody, so I just, like, a close person on the phone. Shouting about, what fucking, like, if Trump's gonna surge late, if he's only up 9 points, you can't let your guard down. I'm just thinking, like, I'm not living with my guard up. I think just fucking, everyone should just shut the fuck up about this stuff and quit. You're gonna vote for who you're gonna vote for. No one, your stupid little fucking Facebook rant isn't convincing anyone to vote for your guy. Everyone just, you type fucking 6 paragraphs on Facebook and everyone just thinks you're a fucking asshole. So you don't need to do it, and you're just getting stressed out fighting with people in the fucking comments. I think everyone should just spend, we're going to be stuck inside and limited, going out shit. There's like 25% capacity at restaurants. Just fuck it. Just focus on watching football. You got football on Thursday. There should be something on Friday, right? Saturday. So you can essentially cover all but like 3 days of your week just watching football and drinking beer. Then go vote for whoever the fuck you're going to vote for and shut the fuck up about it and quit bothering everybody on both sides. You're all fucking annoying. Quit obsessing. It has nothing to do, when they're like, oh, the Russians are trying to disrupt and interrupt the election. It has nothing to do with picking a fucking candidate, and it's all about just sowing these seeds of dissent and eroding the confidence in our democracy. So if you just shut the fuck up with your stupid fucking hot takes and your hashtags and the fucking cancelings and all this fucking annoying shit, we're going to be a fucking involved citizen. Suck my ass. Just go fucking vote. All right? That's it. Then go vote, do the thing. But quit, being a fucking jerk off on Facebook. You're arguing with someone's fucking uncle. Like, you're the guy who was like your little league coach for a season in 1997, and now you're calling him a cocksucker because he believes in universal health care or some shit. It's just so fucking stupid. Yeah. Focus on football. The gyms are opening up. Get yourself fucking nice pumped up and swole, and that's it. With football in mind, there was some fun news out of the league. before the on-field action even gets started. I don't know if you guys have seen this this podcast. It's called No Jumper, and it's been in. It's gotten press before. This chick was talking about how like she sucked off an entire NBA team in a hotel room or something like that, or how they all like fucked her in the ass. It was she was talking about getting rather filthy with a bunch of basketball players. And the latest one that they put out here, I got to start listening to this fucking show. It's just these three ratchet ass hoes talking about banging athletes, and I'm not sure if they're I don't know if they're like black or Hispanic or who the fuck knows, but they kind of have, they all speak with that ghetto vernacular, the way like, you know, the white kids in high school who were really into hip hop, the way they would kind of talk like yo, yeah, yo, like that, but they're not like, I think they look maybe Puerto Rican or something like that. They have a very New York City feel to them. The vibe I get from them is that they work like the Wednesday night shift at a strip club in fucking Elmhurst. Like that's the best way I can describe it. Like they're like overly made up with huge hoop earrings. They don't look like they're skinny, but it looks like that's more from cocaine than it is diet and exercise. Like they don't look like they work out particularly much. But anyway, this one chick says Odell Beckham Jr. flew her across the country to shit on him. She said he likes to be shitted on, which is just the best. Shitted on. From now on, it is not shit on. It's not dumped on. It's not shat on. It is fucking shitted on. That might be the phrase of the year. How was 2020? Oh, we got shitted on. The entire human race got fucking shitted on. But, I guess she said she sent him a video of herself taking a shit, but, she couldn't shit on command, which, I get it. It's admittedly tough to do that. You really do. Taking a shit is one of those things where you have to be in, you gotta be ready to do it. Like, it's gotta be time. Forcing out, like you can, like, I feel like you can always force out some kind of, like, terrible mini turd. But it would be very painful. I think in most cases you'd probably wind up just dry puffing like some sort of weird pain fart onto the person. I don't even know what would come out. Like piss, you can like piss on command is probably easier, I think, because your body just has so much water in it. But if you're eating a reasonable diet, you should be kind of clearing your bowels out in one shit. Like, so if it's not your regular time. Like that's going to be a tough task. But yeah, these chicks are absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like, you first watch it and they're so ratchet that they're annoying. Like it's one of those situations where they're so hateable that they become lovable, and I think I'm actually a fan now. So I'm gonna start consuming more and more of this podcast, because if they're gonna be talking about getting trained by NBA teams and shitting on NFL players, you have my attention. Like, that's, people are always, people get mad at me because I don't like hearing about their fucking wedding plans or their kid or just, terrible stuff like that, like with their boring fucking jobs. Just, awful shit that people talk about that you don't really want to hear about, but it's just kind of like baseline, acceptable, small talk conversation. This is the kind of stuff you hook me with. You have a fucking conversation with me, come to me with, hey, did you hear that Odell Beckham Jr. likes having women shit on him? Unshowered women shit on him? That's interesting. So, I like these ladies. The internet has been all over them. Apparently, they are like the fucking definition of fucking hood rats. So they zoomed in on the chick's sandals, and they were knockoff Christian Dior's, but it was Kristen Dior and Dior. There was no I in Dior. Like, just clear fucking knockoff shit fakes. And she's talking about how she's defecating on NFL players. I love it. Just absolutely amazing. We have a very weird relationship with bodily functions in this country. Like, if you publicly breastfeed or get your period in this country, like if you sat down in fucking Central Park on a bench wearing white yoga pants and no panties, no tampon, and just started bleeding from the pussy while breastfeeding your child, you would be a feminist fucking icon in this country. Like, you would be viral all over the goddamn place. They would build a statue of you. They'd fucking, that stupid statue of the little girl standing in front of the bull down in Wall Street? They would throw that fucking thing into the East River, and they would put a statue of you fucking firing up just a big wad of cunt blood right in the bull's face while an infant sucks milk out of your tits. That's what would happen in Bill de Blasio's New York if you did that. You could go into a public bathroom. You can blow your nose. You can clean up a nosebleed. You can piss in the urinal. You can puke in the stall. You can take a big shit. But if you jerk off, you'll probably get arrested and registered as a sex offender. In bed, the reverse is true. Snot, blood, piss, puke, and shit are generally thought of to be, if not unacceptable, less than desirable fluids or bodily secretions to come out between the sheets. Cum, on the other hand, is not only expected, but the entire purpose of the act, at least for the gentleman involved, is to produce cum. You fire cum all over the place. You get it on the young woman's face and tits and what have you. It is a fascinating double standard that we have going on here, and I think in sort of the age of wokeness in pro sports, I'm wondering if Odell Beckham Jr. should take a stand against what clearly appears to be a case of kink shaming. There's a reason the acronym is LGBTQIAA and then a plus sign, right, folks? The plus sign means there's room for more. I, for one, would like to see maybe an S for people who like to get shitted on. Maybe a P for those who like to do the pooping in those shitted on scenarios, right? Why can't it be LGBTQIAA+, right? If fighting systemic oppression means confronting it wherever we see it, then why is nobody standing up for the right of scat-loving Americans? So maybe it's on OBJ to take a cue from the sports heroes of the eras before him, right? In the spirit of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball, Sandy Koufax refusing to pitch on the Sabbath, and of course Michael Sam making out with his boyfriend on draft day. Odell should come out as a proud scat lover. And I think in doing so, he could serve as inspiration for a generation of young football players who dream of making it to the NFL so that they too can pay hood rats to fly across the country and shit on them, but have forced themselves to remain in the shadows because the activity is still so taboo. So it's something to think about. And speaking of shit, I want to say, holy shit, we are officially kind of living in the future. I don't know if you saw. There's a video that's been going around of Elon Musk putting he put a chip on a pig's brain, and he showed it off during a Neuralink unveiling. And Neuralink is this technology that would create, they say, symbiosis between AI and the human brain. And Musk, he says the physical process of actually putting the chip on your brain is sort of like LASIK surgery, and he says that it will leave a tiny scar after the electrodes have been inserted into the brain, and they describe it as a Fitbit for your skull, and that a person could summon their self-driving car just by thinking about it. Yeah, so my first thought when it comes to AI is always that it is going to lead to a massive Bronze Age style societal collapse. And there's this article going around online that is like all written by AI, and it's insisting that it is not here to hurt us. And I don't know, it just came off as very disingenuous. I'll break that one down probably next week. It didn't make it into my prep for this week, but yeah, I've been reading about the systems collapse that happened in the Bronze Age Mediterranean, and I'm convinced that fucking AI is going to be what causes that to happen again for us. Like, the negative consequences, I think, are just going to be through the fucking roof. I mean, it's going to happen regardless, so there's fuck all we can do about it, except stock up on shotgun shells and maybe fashion ourselves some nice fucking a plank with a nail in it to get ready for the inevitable fucking time when the system just decides to destroy itself and all of humanity, and we have to return to fucking tribal warfare. But yeah, I mean, look, I've seen the Naked Gun movies, and if they can use hypnosis to get fucking Reggie Jackson to try to assassinate the Queen of England, then there's really no telling what would happen if they used an implanted brain chip on one of the ball players of today. Like, you could get them to do something far, far more nefarious, because let's be honest, these fucking guys, they already act with a complete disregard for the unwritten rules of the game. So, would we be surprised if a brain-chipped Fernando Tatis Jr. Bludgeoned one of those Make-A-Wish kids to death in front of 42,445 horrified fans? And I don't know where I'm fucking going with this, but I don't know. Probably shouldn't have gotten cheebed up before I recorded this, but anyway, I guess what I'm saying is fucking Leslie Nielsen's not going to be there to stop him, alright? What was his name in that movie? Frank Drebin? Was that it? Fucking Naked Gun. Awesome. Anyway. Swing and a miss. Not with this bubbly, though. Shit's fucking delicious. Yeah. But I could see that happening. Fucking Fernando Tatis Jr. waking up on a slab in like a sterile operating room, and he feels around his head, and he's got like a weird scar. So he gets up and he picks up a conveniently placed baseball bat and heads to the stadium, and fucking just unwittingly leaves some kid's brains all over the pitcher's mound because some terrorist hacked his brain chip. Eesh. Oh, oh well, you know what they say. Better to die in front of a sellout crowd than while hooked up to a respirator at Shriners Hospital. That's what my grandma used to say. Oh, man. Every fucking nerd who thought I was a douchebag in high school, if they could fucking see me now reading horrible pre-written jokes about fucking disabled kids at Shriners Hospital, oh boy would they feel vindicated. So be sure to share this. Be sure to share this on your Facebook timelines so it gets out to them. Anyway, upon further consideration, I did think of some ways that AI could be used for good instead of evil. Imagine being in a scenario in the household of the future where everyone has a fucking brain chip in, and you get home before the wife one summer afternoon, and the neighbor's 19-year-old daughter is in the backyard by the pool sunbathing with a bunch of her barely legal sorority sisters. And you've got a great view of them out the bedroom window, and they've got some great butt cheeks, and they're rubbing oil on each other, and you decide to indulge in a little self-exploration, and boom, wifey walks in. Well, honey, I don't know what happened. Someone must have hacked my Neuralink and made me masturbate to those barely legal teens while they were tanning by the pool. Perfect crime. What else do we got here? Oh my god. Boyhood pranks. I loved a good boyhood prank. I think the only reasons I showed up to school ever were to play sports and to engage in boyhood pranks. Like we used to throw people's backpacks out the window in class. It was like the fun move. Like we'd, if you weren't smart enough to hook the strap around your leg, someone would grab the backpack from behind, and we'd pass it down the row, and then open the window and just when the teacher wasn't looking, just drop the backpack out the fucking window. And at the end of class, you get some fucking dope who's looking. Or it's even better when it happens in class. Like if you have to take out an assignment, or like you need a pen or a fucking calculator or some shit, and they go down to their backpack to get it, and they're like, oh fuck. But anyway, as hilarious as that was, imagine making some idiot throw his own backpack out the fucking window. Yeah, like if you were good and you knew how to hack your classmates' fucking brain chips, you could I remember there was this everyone cheated on this one history test, and this fucking bitch told. So this would be the perfect tool to make her get up and throw her own backpack out the window every fucking day as punishment for ratting on her fellow students who were just trying to get by with a fucking B-. Oh my god, we used to drive around throwing Slurpees at people. Another one of my favorite boyhood pranks. We would there was in the Ridgewood Heights. We'd drive up there, and we'd find young couples going on lovers' walks, hand in hand, and looking out over the heights and viewing the beautiful skyline of New York City, only to be interrupted by a fucking Slurpee getting fired out the sliding door of a minivan and getting doused with red cherry Slurpee. But just as hilarious would be to go to 7-Eleven and hack some guy's Neuralink and make some fucking idiot dump a Slurpee on his own head. I feel like I would get a lot of joy out of that as well. We never actually played this prank, but I feel like it's the one that every boy dreams of including in his boyhood prank resume. But the old pouring Metamucil into the substitute teacher's coffee. Obviously a risky one, and the goal being making the substitute teacher shit his or her pants. We did a lot of fucked up stuff. Never had the balls to pull that one off. Never had the balls to dose the substitute teacher. But if you hack their Neuralink, you can make them dose themselves and shit their pants in front of the class. Like, just make them shit on command. Just load up a nice piping hot fucking double shot espresso and Metamucil, and make them drop a nice liquidy turd in the front of the classroom. Make sure you don't wear white pants to school tomorrow, Mrs. Scotty. Fucking, I love that. Fucking substitute teachers. Is there any adult who is less respected by a kid than a substitute teacher? That's gotta be the bottom rung. Figure, if you can think, please, I would love for someone to comment with an adult who is less respected than a substitute teacher. How else could we use a hacked Neuralink for good? Maybe the Me Too era. I feel like the Me Too era could use the hacked Neuralink. Say you have like an evil, the sort of stereotypical ass grabbing, evil, sexual harassing boss, and he's groping like Joe Biden. He's grabbing his staffers' pussies, and he's walking up behind interns, and he's sniffing their hair and doing all sorts of creepy shit, and they give him the old, that's sexual harassment, and I don't have to take it. But he fires back with the old, come on, baby, I'm just being friendly, and he keeps doing it. You could hack his Neuralink and make him step in front of a bus. Wouldn't that be swell, ladies? What else? Cheating on tests. You can just hack some nerd's brain, and remember, it's not, the nerd can't prevent you from hacking the Neuralink, because their brain doesn't control the Neuralink. The Neuralink is some other shit. You're just hacking the Neuralink algorithm. So you hack into some nerd's brain, you steal all the test answers, literally while it's going on. Like, you literally just sit there, fucking brain hacked into some fucking, the Asian kid 3 rows over during the trigonometry test, and all of a sudden, they're recommending you to take the advanced placement test. Good job. Thanks, Neuralink. Yeah, what else? You could make slow walkers walk faster. That would do a lot. You could make people who use their phones as public boomboxes or TVs or have those fucking loud public FaceTime chats. You could make them take their phones and smash them in the middle of a busy intersection. Yeah, a lot of good could absolutely come from this. So I'm kind of excited now. Neuralink. Don't sign me up. Sign other people up so I can hack their Neuralink. That's how I want the future to be. Speaking of the future, my 20th high school reunion is about 10 years off, I think. What's the... No, it isn't. When's 20? 23? No, yeah. So it's like 3 years off. 10 years. Where the fuck did I get 10? I'm a fucking idiot. Anyway, I love a good high school reunion story. And I've explained what a high school reunion story is before, but just if you're new to the show or to the stream or the whatever, or if you forgot, a high school reunion story is when you have a story about someone you grew up with or went to school with or knew from back in the old days that is so fucking wild that it is the number one thing worth talking about at the high school reunion. It overshadows everything else. Some guy gets caught on To Catch a Predator, or someone winds up in the fucking mob, or some fucking some dude that you had chemistry class with, he gets what's he get caught doing? Some sort of fucking child porn sting. Just any kind of mostly deviant sex stuff is what goes on here. Like, he gets caught butt fucking a chicken. But you know what I mean. Like, that kind of stuff. You got it. You can think of someone that you grew up with someone just went off the fucking deep end or whatever. They're doing gay. Like we have a guy we grew up with who very prominently does gay porn. Big talker. Whenever you run into people that you grew up with, the Connor Dane story always kind of works its way into conversation. So that's what I'm talking about when I mean a high school reunion story. Something that you wanna talk about, because hearing about somebody's fucking kids is boring as shit. No one cares that Timmy is fucking 6 and he's starting Little League next year. That's not fucking interesting, all right? Kids aren't fucking interesting. Like, they're not. I know everyone loves their kid. That I get. But other people's kids are terrible. They ruin restaurants. They ruin airplane rides. They ruin their mother's pussy. Yeah, no one gives a shit. No, I want to hear about the fucking the guy, the English teacher who wound up plowing one of the fucking students on graduation night. I want to hear about that. Okay? I don't want to hear about your fucking kid fucking pissing his pants in left field during a Little League game. Actually, that I do. I do want to hear about your child's embarrassment. That's true. But this is we have a great high school reunion story, and the headline really says it all. Massachusetts mom 63 and son 43 are arrested for is he 43? I think I might have written down the wrong age. And so we'll just go with and son are arrested for incest after son's wife catches them having sex on the couch. Yeah, and it's the rough pair to look at are Tony and Cheryl Lavoie of Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Tony, I don't know if he strikes me as an incest porn guy. I see him, and I see more of a guy who likes a nice amateur upskirt. Like a guy who's at the grocery store, really walks around with like a little mirror on a stick. That's what, like, he likes a nice bathroom cam. He also has the kind of vibe like he spends a lot of time at like the local roadside dive bar, and wouldn't be, if you were looking for, if someone got stabbed in an argument at a place like that, he would be one of the first people the cops came to talk to. Like, that's the kind of look that this guy has. And then you look at the mother, and she looks like the kind of woman who would give birth to, raise, and then fuck a person like that. So I hope that paints a good picture for you. And she is an absolute fucking whale too. He's got a big bushy beard and kind of unkempt curly hair. So if you want to picture them fucking each other on the living room sofa, that he appears to be a Bruins fan too. So maybe, I don't know, put a fucking, maybe he's sitting facing outward and she's riding him cowgirl, and fucking he's spreading her ass cheeks apart and slipping a little finger into her butthole, and the camera pans down and he's just got a pair of crinkled fucking Boston Bruins long yellow socks crinkled around his ankles by his fucking, and like a pair of Celtics boxer shorts, while the couch squeaks and his mother juices all over his fucking ball sack. Anyway, the wife calls 911. This poor fucking lady, and so the cops show up, and obviously they interview the couple. I guess that's what we got to call them, and the mother and son, Tony and Cheryl, both say that it was consensual. And people talk about police being heroes when they stop like a bank robber or a kidnapper, but it's really the other stuff that goes kind of unnoticed that, in my opinion, solidifies cops as heroes, because you're going there is nothing like the fear of the unknown and running into the unknown and the uncharted. And these guys are going on fucking you're going on domestic calls, and 1 minute you don't know if the next call is going to be to save a choking baby, or maybe there's going to be like a hoarder whose home is on fire and he's covered in fucking decades old newspapers and fucking cat shit, and he can't get out and you're going to have to pull him out. Or maybe you're going to show up at the home of Tony and Cheryl Lavoie, and you're going to have to interview Tony and inhale hot gusts of breath that are thick with the smell of his mother's pussy. Amazing. Just amazing what they do. And then to have to shift gears and you now reeking of Cheryl Lavoie's pussy because Tony's been fucking face blasting it all over you while explaining that the sex with his mother was consensual. Then you have to turn and console a woman who just discovered that her husband, the man that she loves, bangs his mom. And not like his hot internet porn fucking stepmom who's, a fucking a well-kempt adult film star who's just, acting out a script, with like big fake tits and a nice squat and deadlift toned ass, and you're like, well, it's not for me, but I understand. No, this is his his mom, whose head looks like it was fucking slathered in Crisco. She probably has. She looks like she has what I would imagine is a zit-covered fupa. That mom, and she was riding him on the couch, and you walked in and observed it. There is not enough training in the world that our police officers can go through to handle all of that in one day. All right? So I know we're having a serious national sort of discussion and introspection on policing and law enforcement and the justice system and all of that, and I understand that is very, very important. But I think we also have to realize that for the work they did, if nothing else, for the work they did at the home of Tony and Cheryl Lavoie, our boys in blue are absolute heroes. So just thank you guys, and thank you for your service, and stay safe out there, guys. You never know when you're gonna walk in on something like that. But yeah, I guess the wife was fucking distraught. She had to call her cousin to come give the statement to the cops. And this is what she says. She says that she walked in on Tony sexually penetrating his mother on the living room couch, and the mom was said to be on top. Yeah. And if you've ever fucked on a couch, you know the best way to do it is, like I was describing before, that fucking forward-facing cowgirl. So he just had his fucking face in his mom's tits with her fucking greasy musk right up in his nose and his beard scratching between her cleavage. And this fucking... Oh my god. I'll tell you what, October may be the time for scary stories, but there is nothing more horrifying than putting yourself in that seat. We're getting the fall Fright Fest started a few weeks early here. Watching Tony Lavoie and Cheryl Lavoie. I'm assuming raw dogging, right? If you're so worked up in a heat of passion that you're gonna fuck your mom, I can't imagine you run out to pick up a pack of rubbers. Tony Tony doesn't look like the kind of guy who plays it too safe anyway. This is just awful. She says she long suspected that something decidedly lewd was going down between her husband and mother-in-law. And by the way, we did, I should point out that we did discuss this on the show that I work for, so if you're a listener of both, I know there is a slight crossover. Not that I have, I don't think anyone can be referred to as a listener of mine. I think you need more than 3 to to call them listeners. But if there is any crossover, I apologize if you're repeating any ideas you've already heard. But yeah, have you ever been at someone's house and it's 2 people, and you can tell like it's like a couple, and you can tell that they're pissed off at each other, and they're waiting for you to leave so that they can fight, and it's a very like awkward kind of feeling, like you can feel the tension in the air, and then ratchet it up. Now imagine that it's 2 people who are waiting for you to leave so that they can fuck, and they're like exchanging fuck looks across the room while you're there. That is awkward as well. Now let's take this another step further. Imagine the people who are sitting there giving each other fuck eyes and waiting for you to leave are your husband and his wildebeest of a mother. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, even if this poor woman does manage to like pick up the pieces and move on, she's just doomed to a life of trust issues. And the worst trust issues. Like, you literally, it is essential. I mean, everyone visits their parents. Everyone visits their mother. That is the normal, natural thing to do. It's family. She will never, whatever man she winds up with, she will never be able to trust him when he says, I'm just going to stop by, see my mom. Yeah, no, they moved her into hospice. I'm just going to say goodbye. Oh, yeah? Oh, is she in hospice? And it's just going to be you there? This motherfucking just a skeleton wasting away on fucking life support and a ventilator, and she's worried about getting like the last one last bony hand job. Yeah. Like, you go to Mother's Day brunch as a group, and you're just constantly worried about him sneaking off to the bathroom with his mom to play a little grab ass in the stalls. So sad. So sad. The mother, Cheryl Lavoie, for her part, says that they had started getting close during quarantine, started kissing, and one thing led to another. Those are sort of the freakonomics of coronavirus. I hope I'm not stealing that idea or that line from anyone, because it came way too easily and it sounds familiar. If I did, I apologize. But you do wonder how many incestuous relationships were kicked off thanks to quarantine. I mean, it clearly happened once. I mean, there's proof of concept here. So, are there more? We need to find out. I need you folks, I need you good folks to scour the internet for cases of coronavirus induced incest, and please send them to me. But yeah, as I was saying, this is a great talker for Tony's classmates at his next high school reunion. Think about it. Hey, sup, man? What's up? Hold on. We got guy 1, and he's like, "Hey, sup, man? Remember that creepy dude Tony Lavoie from physics?" And is this guy I gotta do different voices. So you know what I'm gonna do? Let's start that over. I want to create a little harmony between the races. It's gonna be the Asian kid. from class can be talking to the black kid from class so that we have good representation, and it's sort of patching things up between two communities that have historically maybe not gotten along so well. Hey, what's up, soul brother? Remember creepy dude Tony Ravoy from physics? Yeah, whatever happened to that guy? He just get arrested for banging his mom. Oh boy. Oh, if I ever try out for Saturday Night Live, that is gonna come back to bite me, isn't it? Oh man. Yeah, anyway. So Tony Lavoie is, he's facing one count of MILF hunting without a license, which will fetch you 20 years in the state of Massachusetts, which is, I think, kind of, that's a little steep for consensual, whatever. Ugh. He got arrested for banging his mom. Oh man, oh that's good. Anyway, that is not the most fucked up story that we will be doing this week. No siree. We got one more to go here. I think so. Okay, yeah. Anthony Shinella, 52. He was the National Intelligence Officer for Military Issues. Blew his brains out on his front lawn. His wife says he was obsessed with ancient Egypt and that he wanted to take her to the afterlife with him, which is that's some fucking chilling shit, isn't it? Yeah, you think you know someone. She says she caught him dismantling their oven, and it was on the same day that he had drank a cup and a half of vodka before going to bed. And she said on the nightstand he had handcuffs, all of her the old love letters she had written him, and Chinese zodiac cards. Which I think it's a good rule of thumb. Stay away from anyone who owns handcuffs and Chinese zodiac cards. Because it's not that they're bad people, and it's not that they're crazy per se. It's just that you never know what route they're going to decide to go down. And you don't want to be around the kind of person who could go down a murder-suicide afterlife route. You don't want to be around a person like that if they have handcuffs, is what I'm getting at. And also, he apparently had a Glock, a pistol, which he threatened her and himself with for 2 hours. So I guess he then goes back to fiddle with the stove, and she fucking runs for it because she's like, oh yeah, this nut job's gonna fucking kill both of us. She runs out of the house, and he chases her, but she drives. She says she got in the car, and as she was starting it, he runs out of the house, and he's trying to break the back windshield, and she manages to drive off while he's trying to do that. And she hears him shouting her name, and then all of a sudden she hears a gunshot, and the gunshot was her husband fucking blowing his brains out on the front lawn. And Jesus fucking Christ. You feel like you imagine that this kind of thing wouldn't come out of nowhere, and I guess to an extent it didn't, because she was talking about the Egypt stuff, and she kind of saw, I guess, it gradually happening. But I guess some people are nuts, and they're just very good at hiding it. They said they found a shitload of of guns and S&M gear as well, I guess, after they searched the place. The stress of, like, hiding that kind of... Because it was clearly they found the S&M. She wasn't like, oh, yeah, he loved guns and S&M. It was more of they discovered that after he died. So the stress of hiding that must be enormous. And then you throw on top of it the stress of having a national security job. And it's like, oh, I can totally see how that would be fucking unbearable and just build up inside of you until it explodes like a fucking volcano. I mean, literally, he wanted to blow up the house and take his wife with him. Jesus, what's the symbology there? Symbolism. But yeah, again, like I was saying, another good example of a high school reunion story, right? Try this on for size. We'll do an Indian. We'll do an Indian and a Swedish guy, because the Swedish are very very white, so you can't be racist against them. So by doing the voices of all these people, including a Swedish guy, I can't be accused of racism. So this is the English guy, or the Indian guy, and the Swedish guy talking about this at the high school reunion. Did you hear about Anthony Schinella? Schinella? From Polysai? I don't know. That's not a good Swedish guy or a good Indian guy. Yes, he blew his brains out on his front. He blew his... The fucking live stream just cut out for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let's see if I can restart that mug. Restarting. We're almost done anyway. I don't know why the live stream died out, but he blew his brains out on his front lawn. He tried to kill his wife. They say he had a bunch of ball gags and spiked paddles in the closet. Wow, what a freak. What a freak. I don't know. That's as close as I can come to an Indian guy, and I guess, you know, it's an Indian guy who his family moved to the United States, and they do very well for themselves. His parents are both surgeons, and he's talking to the Swedish exchange student, who was it was very popular because he loved American pop culture, but he would talk about it in a weird accent. So the kids just loved him, and he had blonde hair and blue eyes and a chiseled jawline. It's very popular with the ladies, and they're catching up at the reunion, and they're talking about fucking Tony Schinella being involved in a murder-suicide and wanting to fucking off his wife or whatever the fuck, and spank people with a spiked paddle and wearing fucking a gimp outfit. And we'll end on that. We'll end on gimp outfit. I don't know what went on during the live stream. I apologize if that fucked anything up for you, you fine folks. But wrapping up now, if you do want to watch future live streams, you can do so at facebook.com/thesavagecrew, Twitter at Mike Montone, Instagram at Gary_Moyler, Moyler. What are my other ones? Oh, the podcast. Yeah, that's an important one to promote. The podcast can be found at thesavagecrew.libsyn.com, or you can find it at meatheadmedia.com, or you can find the Savage Sack Tap pretty much wherever podcasts are downloaded, in iTunes and Podbean and Stitcher and Pocket Cast and all sorts of podcast platforms. So just search for the Savage Sack Tap in your your podcast listening platform of pleasure. Spotify, we're on Spotify, I believe iHeartRadio, all that fucking shit. Even YouTube. So you can find it everywhere. You don't have a fucking excuse not to listen, you little cocksuckers. You hear me? And tell a few friends. We love your friends. Let them know. Send the link to this podcast that you're listening to right now to your group chat and be like, hey, listen up. Listen to this. All right. Bye-bye.